Hi folks, HR Funk here. Once again with this Model 39-2, and this is going to be an update video on this pistol. And if you didn't see part 1 of this video, I go into great detail there explaining exactly what's going on with this pistol and the steps that I've gone through to diagnose the problem with it and ultimately try to figure out what I need to do to fix it. And if you didn't see that, I would encourage you to go back and watch it so you know what I'm going to be talking about here. Because in that part 1, I eventually determined that the problem this pistol was experiencing came as a result of a faulty disconnector. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about replacement of that disconnector, and hopefully at the end we'll have a properly functioning Model 39-2. By the way, to anyone from YouTube who reviews this video, I'm going to be talking about a firearms repair. This is not a modification, and according to YouTube's ad-friendly guidelines, firearms repair and routine maintenance is okay for being shown in a video. So keep that in mind if you're viewing this video to determine whether or not it meets those guidelines. So as you can see, I have once again field stripped the Model 39 and removed the grip panels. I also drifted out this roll pin, and I'm going to start my disassembly by removing the back strap. And again, if you saw part 1, I showed the detailed disassembly there, so I'm not going to go into a lot of specifics this time around. I would just encourage you to go back and watch that first part of the video if you are interested in what I'm doing at this point. But the main thing I want to do is get to that disconnector in this pistol that I believe is causing the problem. And there is our problem child disconnector in my hand. So I'm going to replace this disconnector with this one, and we'll see if this problem corrects itself. So here we go with our reassembly. I'm going to drop the new old disconnector down into its recess. And once again, we will make sure that it is underneath that tab on the drawbar. And this is always kind of hard to see, but I will do my best. We can see this little tab right here on the drawbar, and the disconnector has to be underneath it as we look at it from here, but when the pistol is held right side up, the tail of the disconnector actually rides on this little tab. So I've got that in there now. Next, I can reinstall my sear, and I'll do my best to keep this in front of the camera so you can see what I'm doing. But as you can see, trying to hold on to everything and keep it in your field of view is a little bit of a challenge. And our sear is back in place. For my next trick, I will line up the ejector, the hammer, and the sear release lever, which is actually still in the frame there, and reinstall the side plate. And it might take me a minute or two just to get everything more or less lined up. I'll try to do this on camera, but sometimes everything doesn't want to cooperate real well. Let's see if we can get a start there. And it's through the ejector. Now we got to get the hammer located. And I might need to take this off camera for just a moment. And sorry about that, folks, that I couldn't complete that installation on camera, but sometimes I actually have to move things over where I can see what I'm doing. But after the appropriate amount of fiddling, I managed to reinstall the ejector, the hammer, and the sear release lever on that sidebar pin, or side plate pin rather, and the side plate itself is once again properly relocated on the pistol. Now, when we reinstall the mainspring on the hammer strut, we should have a properly functioning pistol. And now that I've replaced the back strap, we can go through a few function checks of the pistol to this point. First off, our double action trigger works properly. The single action works properly. The magazine disconnect works properly, which you do by pushing down on the ejector, and the sear release lever works properly. So everything appears to be working correctly with this pistol just by replacing that improper disconnector. And as you can see, I have now completely reassembled the Model 39, and the original problem of the slide not cycling has been cured because the hammer is no longer locking in the down position. The magazine is removed, so the magazine disconnect is working in single action mode. And let me go ahead and insert the magazine. And when the magazine is inserted, we have both double action trigger function and single action trigger function. The safety is timed correctly. When we remove the magazine, again, the single action trigger is disengaged and the double action trigger is disengaged. The slide locks back on an empty magazine and everything appears to be functioning properly. And since the disconnector was replaced, one last thing we want to check before the test fire is the function of the disconnector itself. So the magazine is in place and the chamber is empty. So in single action mode, I'm going to take the pistol out of battery and the pistol does not fire. And in double action mode, with the slide out of battery, also the pistol does not fire. So the new disconnector is working properly. Looks like it runs pretty well. So there you go, folks. Our formerly ailing Model 39-2 now has a clean bill of health, and that's going to bring things to a close for this video. If you have any questions or comments, as always, make sure you forward those to me. Remember, if you purchase anything from Optics Planet, be sure to use my discount code, which is... And if you use that discount code, it's good for 5% off anything you purchase from Optics Planet. Also remember, the new discount code from Hot Munitions, if you go to hotmunitions.com and you use my discount code there, which is HRFUNK10, that'll save you 10% off your purchase from Hot Munitions. See you next time, folks. Hopefully with a fully functional firearm. Good shooting. Bye-bye.